there. I have something I want to share with you today. Look at it. All right, first of all, I have to confess that I use ChatGPT to make this. I have several conflicting feelings about ChatGPT, but this is what I call the creation process. And this is an amalgamation of lots of people's work that I have studied and used over lots of years, but it explains behavior change. And I have been working in the human behavior change world for a long time. So I want to talk about it. You can see this is a pyramid and it starts on the bottom. We have to have a strong foundation if we're going to make any changes. So in the coaching work that I do, we start at the bottom. Do you see right here in the middle? This is where the action happens, right here in the middle. If you start here, then you don't have a foundation. Look at all this work to be done before you take action. You don't have this strong foundation below to help your action take. Did you guys watch Seinfeld? When George says his shower didn't take. So I think where a lot of people go wrong when they're trying new behaviors or trying to change something in their life is they jump right into action. They're like, ooh, I was talking to someone about this the other day, and she was asking me about this new diet that she heard about. And she's like, we were just talking about it. And I've done this before, maybe you have too. I thought of hearing about, certain ways of eating. I'm not even going to call them diets, like certain ways of eating that you're like, oh, I need to get on that. Like bone broth. Oh, I need to start eating bone broth all the time, every day, and making it on my own. And, there's the Atkins diet. There's all sorts of different frameworks for healthy eating, whatever that means. And it's easy, and have seen a lot of people do this over the years. It's easy to just hop on that bandwagon with just a little bit of information. So here's why you should do that. And then you're like, okay, that makes sense. I'll just go ahead and do that. But so that's the action, which is in the center here. But below that, and then you poop out, right? It doesn't last. That's because below that, you didn't do all this work. Which is, listen, I call it work. It's fun. And in coaching, when we do it together, it is super fun. It doesn't feel like hard work. Self-discovery, learning about yourself and how you operate. We spend a lot of time doing that. I have a lot of tools for doing that that are fun. And strengths, understanding your strengths, understanding your values, understanding your commitment level. Sometimes you need education. That's on the bottom row. Usually we don't. A lot of coaches go wrong because they just want to educate you. But I believe that most of us don't really need that. Don't tell me what to do. I don't need to know that. I know what I need to do. But sometimes we do need education. Rarely. So that is the vision. You need to build a strong vision, and that's what this bottom row is. And those are all the ingredients for developing a strong vision. And then that next row, this guy right here, that's preparation before you even take action. That's where you talk about goals, you talk about plans, you get support together, who's going to support you in this, you build your confidence. All of these things I'm talking about help to build your confidence. And then you look at challenges and strategies. Listen, you're going to have challenges. Whenever you start something new or make a change, you're going to run into challenges. So what are the strategies to deal with these challenges? So once we look at all of that, that's these bottom two rows, the vision and the preparation, then we're ready to start taking some action. So then a lot of people think, oh, I took the action and I did it for a couple of weeks, or I did it for a month, or maybe even a couple of months, and then it didn't work out, or they got tired of it or stopped doing it. And that's normal. So in this action phase, you notice that there's 3 different sections. It's not just action. So in that action phase, there are behavioral steps. So what are you actually going to do? And feeling the rewards when you actually start taking aligned action. And I like to use this term aligned action. I got this from the To Be Magnetic work. They talk about that. Just taking a bunch of action, like doing a bunch of things, just wears you out and makes you frustrated. So the work that we do on those bottom 2 rows makes sure that the action that you're taking is actually aligned with you, with your strengths, with your values, with your interests, with your personality. That's why a lot of actions that we take don't really stick. So starting to feel the rewards, and then problem solving, because problems are going to come up. You're going to run into barriers. So problem solving those, that's all part of action. And then that second to top one is the results. You see lasting changes like here, and also falling and then getting up and going again. Because most of the time, any action that we take to change our behavior or to start something new, we're going to fall at some point, probably a lot of times, and that's okay. We're human, so that's going to happen. So here, you're going to see some lasting changes, and you're also going to have some falls, and you're going to get back up, because that's the kind of person you are. And then top is my best self, the real me. Like, the real you is in there. You don't need to add a bunch of stuff. You just need to dig around and pull it out. That's what all of this is doing. You notice the only thing, like none of these, the only thing that's maybe kind of additive is education, if you need education, which you don't always, but the rest of the stuff is just inside of you. And my job as a coach is to help you look at all of these areas and pull all of this out of you. That is my work. It's not to tell you what to do. It's not to give you a roadmap on how to do it, because how you do it is going to be different than how I do it. So I don't tell people what to do. But I'm helping you unearth all of these pieces and helping you with the process. So we're going top to bottom to create something that you want. So that is a fun little tool that I use in coaching called the creation process. And it's really the process for creating lasting change and how that works. I hope that was helpful to you today, so that you're not beating yourself up because you take an action to try to improve and then it doesn't work, and then you're like, oh, well, I failed again. I'm never going to do it. I'm not the kind of person who sticks with things. It might be that you're missing one or more of these pieces, and that's the kind of work that we do in coaching. So if you need yourself some of that, you can sign up for a coaching session. If you have some questions first, you can schedule a discovery call. That is free. And if you are ready to get into coaching, you can go ahead and schedule a coaching session. But a free conversation to see if we would be a good fit for each other is a good idea. And I look forward to seeing you and digging in to the creation process with you.